We are living in an unprecedented interconnected world, and interactions in cyberspace are becoming an essential part of many people's lives. Customers are now put in control thanks to the internet and social media. As such, gaining and holding their attention and listening to what they say are important ingredients for commercial success. This explains why companies are moving from a push production and marketing approach to a new approach that involves their customers in pull dynamics. This paradigm shift from company push to customer pull has led to the creation of a new open collaborative economic models. Commons-based peer production, Wikinomics, crowdsourcing, open innovation, collaborative consumption, and so on. This open source movement has acquired considerable momentum. Gone are the days when corporate media houses ran full-length articles on viability of open source and how bad an idea it was to share. Open source software has several success stories such as Firefox, Android, WordPress, Apache, and the list goes on. Open source hardware is also picking up. Examples are SparkFun Electronics, Wikispeed, PlaneMakers, and so on. As there seems to be no limit to what open source can achieve, more and more corporations are beginning to see the merits of open source and have started embracing it. Dubbed as a creative city, Montreal is grooming a number of open source hardware production networks. One example is Sensorica, which offers open source sensing and sense-making solutions. Created in 2011, it has grown from 3 individuals to a network of 42 individuals and organizations with shared goals in changing the sensing paradigm in sense-making systems. Its core product is the Mosquito, a tactile sensor device based on optical technology that is more robust and user-friendly than products based on other technologies. Besides developing application for the biomedical scientific instrument market, Sensorica is expanding its applications to cover sensing needs in aerospace, sports, and agri-food. Its members also anticipate that their technology will address important needs in manufacturing, robotics, and automation.
Mosquito has been continuously evolving over its development process. Here we have the 3 generations of the Mosquito transducer. Inside the box there are 3 main components. There is the circuit board, the laser driver, and the acquisition card. This shows the progression of the circuit board. Over here we have the laser driver progression. The difference between the first and the second generation is we improved the connector, making it more robust. In the third generation it's more sensitive. Our first laser driver we used was very expensive, so we moved to this cheaper alternative right here. The third laser driver design was donated by one of the collaborators, and we had redesigned it to a smaller package. First generation, cleaner signal, cheaper price, highest precision.
It has almost unlimited potential for miniaturization. That is why we can shrink it down and work on a very small scales of displacement and forces, and potentially embed it into other devices, like for example robot fingers, manipulators. We already found some nice collaborators in this field of robotics. The next step of this development would be a system to work with 3D tissue constructs. Our system for biomechanical studies of muscle cell cultures, will allow astronauts to perform experiments with the live tissues up there on the orbit. Our sensor can be applied, for example, in medicine, like in surgical instruments, so sensitized surgical instruments, catheters, then different flow sensors, the sensor of gas or liquid flow. So basically, you apply the sensor in perpendicular to the stream of gas or liquid flow, and you can measure the speed and the force of the stream.
They came to me with the possibility to take what they were doing and adapt it to my needs and see if we could do something good with it. And so they could come to my lab and we could work together and apply their approach to measure the forces of a contraction optimally for cardiac cells, so individual cells level. And what was really good is we could use the same method, but just change the sensor to have it and be able to measure more than one cell at a time, meaning that we can have the tissue level, so many cells connected, and be able to measure the forces with the same system, but with a different sensor only, just by changing the sensor. I was so amazed, and I really appreciated the level of motivation of these guys. They really wanted to push forward their system and be able to help the research and make it a high product with a really good precision. So I think like their motivation was one of the main reason why I wanted to enter the venture and be their first customer and be able to adapt with them their system to a specific needs of research in the cardiac field.
How to turn these mosquitoes into a commercial success.